everybody, and welcome back to San Pedro Mountain Railroad. Today we're doing a Walthers kit on the Route 66 section of the layout. This is what the Walthers kit looks like. We're going to be doing very similar to it. This is the original prototype picture. It's the one in the background. Mostly white. It had some signage on the trim, so it's a little bit different in the 50s from what it looks like nowadays. In the foreground you'll see a lot of burger, and we're going to be doing that model too on the layout, so that's going to be something different. And today it looks like this. This is taken in 2008, which is very similar to how we're going to do it today. The sign is exactly the same. There's a lot of variations of these, weird colors. Franchise owners did whatever they want eventually, and they didn't do what Dairy Queen wanted. So we're going to do what we want too, similar to what it looked like in 2008. Okay, the first thing you do is you take all your parts out, you put them inside a big cardboard tray, all the ones that need to be painted. You test your paint colors on, like the sprue and stuff, and then you can get another one, put all the stuff that doesn't need to be painted in another tray. Yeah, I got a cardboard tray within a cardboard tray. That's the best way to keep things organized so you don't lose parts. You can glue stuff inside these boxes. You can paint stuff inside these boxes, and it doesn't make a big mess. And it's the best way to keep things organized. Okay, this is the box here, and I noticed over there where the lady's walking, the wall looks pretty detailed. You can really see the mortar between the bricks, and I wanted to do that, so I decided to make a little bit of a wash. So here's what it looks like. It turned out pretty good. I just mixed up some gray and white, and actually turned out better than I thought. I thought I would struggle with it, but I got to clean up around the window frames there, but it really turned out good. Here's what it looked like in the sprue. You can't really see the brick that good, so that's the difference. Huge difference. So I took my usual bottle cap and mixed up some gray and white. Oops, sorry. And then I just kind of add a little bit of water to it, and then took my trusty Q-tip and smeared it on, and then wiped it off. I let it dry for just a couple minutes and then wiped it off real hard, and I got a nice glossy finish on the brick, but all the mortar is taken care of. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So it looks exactly like it does on the box. And this is pretty much the same technique I use on like the tile on the depots, and just any time you want to bring out brick, that's the same technique you use. But I was afraid to do it on this white. It really turned out really, really good. Okay, I'm going to put a little paint into a bottle cap here. This is from a water bottle. This is the way I make my little paint palettes. And it comes in real handy. It doesn't make as big as messy, and you don't waste as much. Now I've taken these out of the sprue after painting them in the sprue, and I'm touching them up now. Most people would frown on brushing paint on because of the brush marks, but I put so many coats on these that you really don't see it. And these Dairy Queens have been painted by hand 1,000 times over the years, so they have brush marks in real life. And I can easily go over the mistakes with an X-Acto knife and clean them up, so the lines are perfect on them when I get done with them. They look like crap right now, but I meticulously clean them up, and they look nice. Okay, well the first thing we got to do is clean up around the windows, because that's the only really gluing part you have to do before final assembly, painting and final assembly. So I'm going to make it real nice, get all the excess paint off of here. It's a pretty easy kit, but you know, if you take your time, do things right, paint everything first and then assemble it. These windows aren't as good as the windows that I make. My little homemade windows are not as clear. If you watched my Facebook video on the garage on Route 66 district, I made my own windows because a lot of the kits, really vintage kits, never had plastic windows, so I had to make my own, and they turned out a lot better than these. These are kind of junky. They're not as clear as I like them. But and then I got to cut this little bit of overage from the sprue. And I notice there's a little beveled edge there too. And that's probably because the wall has a beveled edge on it. So I'll clean these up a little bit. Go over them. And they'll fit perfectly. You won't see any of this. So don't be afraid. Get on it hard. You're not going to hurt them. And there's a lot of this kind of stuff to do. If you don't like sanding or filing stuff down, you'll never make it in the modeling because this is a lot of what you do, especially if you paint stuff in the sprue. You got to take this stuff off and then repaint again, touch it up. So what you saw earlier. Okay, that looks pretty good. Fits pretty good. Need to check it. Making sure it's the right direction. Got to turn it around here, and that is so the walls will fit together. So you got to get it just right so the beveled edge is perfectly square with the end of the wall here. And I think that's got it fitting perfectly. All I got to do is glue this up. Check it out. And that's it. No problems. Okay, this is the roof ceiling. I'm painting the ceiling white. It's the only piece that I spray painted. I'm going to take tape off my trim, see how it turned out. The roof is tar, gray tar, black tar. I see a little spot there I got to touch up with some overspray. I use a gray and black wash to do the roof. I painted everything in the little cardboard box here. No mess, no fuss. Put the air conditioning unit on there to see what it looked like, but it turned out pretty well. This is the floor and the interior pieces, so I'm just going to hand paint the interior pieces. You won't see those. I don't like them. They're not very well done, but you know, I should really do those over, but I'm going to let it go. Just go with what the kit had. The floors on the Dairy Queens were concrete, so I'll just leave that floor gray. You won't really see it anyway. I might put some figurines on the inside and make sure by the windows, so you'll see those, but none of this stuff you'll really see. I'm going to dull coat everything, and that'll make it look really nice. But this is about all the painting there is to do. There's just some touch up here and there. I might do a little bit of a wash on the sidewalk that goes around the outside because it's gray, and I need to make it look like more of a sand color for that type of cement that they have in New Mexico. But just touch-ups and redos is all I got left to do on painting, so we're almost done and ready for assembly. Okay, so I wanted to get some signage for my Dairy Queen, some pictures of treats and whatnot, so I went on the internet. I found this little menu. I super miniaturized it, sent it to my printer, put it on some photo paper. On one side I printed that on the back of the photo paper so I'd have a matte finish, and the other side I printed on the glossy side. The small one on the glossy side, and the small one I'll put on the interior wall of the Dairy Queen, and the bigger one I'll stick outside as a outdoor sign, and maybe as a placard along the sidewalk or something. But they turned out really, really well. There's a lot of detail to them. They're fantastic. I don't know. I've been buying these little cutout signs that you buy, like these little 50s drink signs that I got on the wall here. I'm not going to buy them anymore. The ones I made myself, like this menu, just turned out fantastic. I mean, the detail is there. You can see everything with a magnifying glass, so I'm not going to pay for them anymore. I'm just going to make them myself. Turned out good. Okay, well that's going to be it for this episode of the Dairy Queen build on the Santa Fe Model Railroading channel on YouTube. Also have a Facebook page, Santa Fe Model Railroading. This is the San Pedro Mountain Railroad, and we're working on the Route 66 district. We'll get that Dairy Queen up on a lot, put some cars around it, and put it on Route 66 next time you see this. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment and like and share with your friends. Thank you. Georgia Pete signing out.